Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. I am your host Priscilla Moy, and you are watching the favorite show of the day, The Hot Seat, where I interview all of the amazing people in Las Vegas, from film to music to entrepreneurship to small businesses and to leaders that are really making the city what it is today. We to introduce new talents, people who have been veterans in the field, and just give you a story about their journey and why it's important to know them and why you should be paying attention to them. As I always talk about, Las Vegas is a building city. We have things up and coming and growing, and there's so much that we're trying to beat, whether it comes to stigma, to stereotypes. And I just want to let you know that there is amazing talent out here. There are very humble people who have a giant story, who are veterans in the field that they're in and experts, and they are making the art what it is. Now, every time I talk about I hope you guys did see Strip Tea. We just had Strip Tea premiere for the first time in like 2 months, the show before this one, where I'm also a host with two other of my amazing women co-hosts, where we talk about pop culture and we talk about people that there is to know. But when we come back to the hot seat, we kind of switch gears and we follow a totally different thing when it comes to theme. Every episode that I have of the hot seat, it ends up being a theme when it comes to my guests. And I tell you guys this every single time. Sometimes I have met the guests before and sometimes I have not. And I really never know what I'm going to be walking into until I broadcast for that week. So today the theme is going to be film. So all of my film lovers, people who are actors, who are writers, direct when it comes to filmmaking, and just kind of me being someone who has been in it for a while, watching film grow and being a part of that community here in the amazing city of Las Vegas. So when we come back, we're going to introduce you to someone who has been a veteran. He has been in the field for around 60 years, from theater to fashion, to stage, to dance, to music, to hosting, to just being somebody prominent in the industry, and everyone should know who he is and what he is doing now. So make sure to grab your drinks, grab your tea, grab your lunch, grab anything, and make sure to tune in after the break to watch and meet this amazing star. And I'll see you after the break.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Geno! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get about the dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a foal and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. TV expand in human history.
Hi guys, and welcome back. We had a very short break, but I hope you guys are prepared to meet this amazing guest, because you are going to have to get ready to listen, be all ears, and have all eyes on him. This amazing guest, like I said, has been in the industry since he was 5, and he has been in it for 60 years, seeing the industry change, been a part of it, knowing who to know, what to do, where to be, and he's still working to this day and is bringing the talent here at social media shows. So everyone, please welcome Doc PHINEAS.
Hi, Priscilla.
Thank you so much for coming.
So
my
good to
love.
see
yeah,
you.
I know. Please take an amazing seat. You guys, what's so funny about Doc Phineas is that I actually met him through social media shows. I had done a movie premiere, I was hosting that red carpet, and he had come up. I never know who's going to come up at those red carpets. It's like, I'm just like, hey, we're winging it. Exactly. And he comes up in all Versace, as you see now. And that was the first thing, and I was like, oh my God, who is this fabulous person? So luckily after that, and this was months ago, like we were able to connect.
Yes.
And here we are.
Here we are
at the hot seat. You're sitting in it.
I just look at Priscilla, I say, there's my sister from another mother.
Period. Yes. So we have so much to catch up on. I've even seen him at events, and we're going to get to that later. But first, we got to talk about the fit, Versace.
Thank
you.
you
have a history with Versace. Like, he's obviously been working since he was 5. But let's hit with Versace, because there's so much to cover here.
Well,
so
yes, and thank you, Donatella. She just hooked me up. But I just was with Versace show in West Hollywood. We had a magnificent show right before the Academy Awards. Donatella flew in with like all of these fantastic creations. I was there with Naomi Campbell, with Cher, with everybody was there. You know, it was just fantastic. And she said at the end of that show, she said, "This is Doc Phineas. I want you all to get to know him." He was a dear friend of my brother, Gianni. And it was my very first job in modeling when I went to Milan. And in those days, nobody knew who Gianni Versace was. He worked for Caprice. And I was the fit model for Caprice. That meant you had to be 6 feet tall, your waist size 28 for a guy, and 120 pounds.
Wow.
So I was just like, the clothes would just hang off me. And that's the way we were in the 70s. You know, that was the look. Twiggy, you know, really skinny look. One salad a day.
Yeah, it's that. No dressing.
I'm the model for Gianni Versace.
Yeah.
So then he started his own line in 78, and I was one of the few he took with him into the line. And I'm still on the catwalk. And I would like to say that to my agent, who said my career would not last past 28. I'm still out there at the catwalk, and I'm in my mid-70s.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't let anybody tell you what your career's going to be. You can't do this. You're going to be too old. They're going to put you out the pasture. It's just simply not true. It's all up here. It's how you think ye are, right? Exactly. So I'm very proud to still be in fashion. Of course, now, you know, I'm working on my 51st movie, which is pretty exciting. Over 300 television shows. I'm in three stage shows in Vegas right now. So I'm 180 feet tall on the side of the Palms. I'm 200 feet high going around the Virgin Hotel. And I'm just up there with Barry Manilow now at Westgate.
Amazing.
So this is incredible. And I'm out there singing, dancing, tap dancing. I don't have any aches, no pains.
That's amazing. It's because you kept up with it. See, when you're consistent and you keep going along the years, like your body just acclimates to the fact that, hey, he's not done.
And
it's when you stop,
thinking,
then your body kind of going back and forth.
You are right. You are right. And also, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm ardent about yoga. That's your thing. I started the yoga center at Caesar's Palace. And I went to Caesars at Gloucester, and they said, "Hey, we need yoga here. Everybody in LA wants to come in and do a yoga class." They built me a $1.5 million yoga center. I ended up teaching Elton John, Cher, Dolly Parton, all these people.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I hope you send Maria a lot of photos, because I would love to have this pop up in your interview. A lot of photos of you on the catwalk in Italy, and like, you know, with all the greats, and it's amazing. So you had mentioned that, you know, you're on the Palms. This is a big thing that I want to talk about, because he is kind of the celebrity. I want to call you a host, because you're kind of always there. I was invited once at the Ghost Bar. They have this amazing party called Glam, and celebrates the LGBTQ plus, along with the allies, there to just celebrate life. It's amazing community.
Just celebrate
life. And especially now with being Pride Month, it's amazing to talk about this and promote this, because this is somewhere that everyone can go, meet people, feel safe, network, and just celebrate people who are just there to be have fun and just give love to each other and to Vegas and just celebrate the amazing people here. And he was there, and like I run into him, of course he was in Versace, of course. And it was absolutely amazing because that was the time when we actually had Perez Hilton, who had just recently moved here,
Paris Hilton.
at that party. So it's amazing. So tell the viewers a little bit about Ghost Bar if they can go, if that's something that they're really
So one thing that Priscilla and I share that's very close to our heart is glam, right?
Yes,
Glamour.
period.
So it's called the Glam Party. And actually, when we were putting this together, we just thought, here we've got these closets full of beautiful clothes, and everybody dresses so grungy, even in Vegas. And back in the day, you wouldn't dream of going out to a casino unless you were like put it together. I remember those days.
Yeah, back then, not now.
Yeah, exactly. And one day I was with Steve Wynn, and Steve Wynn goes, Doc, I love the way you dress, but look at these people. They're like in their flip-flops, they got our towel, and part of this floor cost millions and millions of dollars to bring the marble in, to do all this bling. Come on, can we step it up here? So we decided, let's have a glamorous party where we dig in our closet, we get our most glamorous things, we all go celebrate glamour together. And that's what that party is. And we had 3 winners from American Idol sing this last Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. We had most of the winners from RuPaul were there from almost every season. These fabulously amazing, across, all different kinds of transitional people in all different kinds of costume.
Yeah.
And then we also had, like at my table, we had Jessica Alves, who has a huge social media following. Pink came to say hello. She saw my song, and I opened up the whole thing with the disco number singing We Are Family.
Oh, wow.
Everybody was on their feet dancing and singing. I had my moment of Sister Sledge. And then I go back to get the elevator, and here comes Kim Kardashian. So these kind of people are like, coming to this party. We've had Lady Gaga there. It's just amazing that this party just started out as an idea. It's now the number 4th top party in America to attend. So people are flying in from Miami.
That's
they're flying in from
amazing. And
Houston.
I would have been there because I was invited. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just coming, right?
You look so glamorous. I have to say hello to Priscilla. Look at her.
Actually, I did wear Versace that night too.
You
I did.
were drop dead gorgeous. That's all I had to say.
It was a great time. You get to see a lot of
fabulous.
performances. There's a lot of drag performances, a lot of people, and they're all very local here that are in shows currently, and the people that you can meet. So it's great to celebrate. Obviously it's not everyone's thing, but it's something to check out. Be open-minded and just come.
The networking's incredible,
and the view from the bar of the Strip.
Oh, the view!
Fabulous.
It's the best view in Vegas, and we're all out there dancing under a disco ball, and I'm like, wow, look at all of these celebrities. Everybody just who's not a celebrity looking like a celebrity, just like a field of like
we're awesome.
After party from the Oscars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, I think that was the day that I was there. There was the Academy Award.
Exactly.
So we're gonna bounce back to your past. So you had about tap dancing. So you had started when you were 5 a lot of just being in performing arts, right?
That's true.
To your mother, right?
Yes.
You had a very supportive mother for you in the arts.
did.
Because I feel like you just came out of the womb a star. At least, you're not far from the stage, and me having studied in theater and knowing a lot about stage acting and performance and musical theater like that, that was kind of where your start was,
exactly
right?
Where my
and how
start
was that experience? Because this was back in probably the 50s, if I remember your bio correctly.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was a completely different time. So tell us what that experience was
television, it just started. And so they were kind of deciding where to go with TV. And my mother said, and my mother was in her 40s when she had me, and she said, after 9 months of having Fred Astaire in my womb, I'm going to definitely have you take tap dancing lessons. So I literally came out tapping, is what she said. And by the time I was 3 years old, I was already pretty good. She gave me piano lessons, violin lessons, because I think she just felt like this was going to be a career for me. So anything she could do to help me that way. And she was also one of the main persons putting a lot of catalogs together. So she was like the main person for J.C. Penney, Montgomery Ward's. Back in the time when we shopped a lot from catalogs, and we didn't have the internet, we had to look at these catalogs and pick out our outfits, especially if you're in a small town and you didn't have stores. So my mother said, well, I've got a son, he's great, I'll put him out there to model. So I was literally in these catalogs from the time I was 5, and then she took me to Hollywood. She goes, I'm going to introduce this boy to Uncle Walt. So I got to meet Walt Disney, and he said, "You have the biggest eyes. Like, I definitely have some ideas for you." I appeared as a guest on the Mouseketeers. And from there, they saw me tap dance, and they brought me right on as a regular on the Pinky Lee Show, which was kind of like our original Pee Wee Herman. You know, hello, hee hee. My name is Pinky Lee. So I did a lot of dancing, just a lot of dancing as a kid. And I remember being out there one day, and I said, "Mom, I'm kind of tired. Do I have to dance today?" And my mom said, "Do you want to eat?" I was like, "Oh, I'm dancing." Yeah, I'm dancing. So, when you have, that sort of parent that's like, get in there, do it, don't complain. This is show business, and I'm giving you a career. And I just thank that woman. I had her 87 years. Yeah. We had so much fun together. We went on cruises together all over the world. She was here in Vegas. She taught yoga to senior women every day of her life, including her last day of life. She taught yoga. So I thought, when you have a parent like that, you just do it. You just get up and do it, make it happen. And so here I am, Mom. Thank you so much for this career.
Watching for sure.
It's fabulous.
Absolutely.
And I'm working on my 51st movie. 51st movie. Who gets that? Maybe Tony Curtis. And then 200. We figured out the other day, actually 300 television shows, if we include all of my interviews with wonderful people like you. And right now, 3 stage shows, but tons of stage. I still play piano, I play jazz piano.
I was going to say, you're also a musician in a way.
So I have a band, it's called Doc Phineas and the Sounds of Swag.
Okay, very fitting for you.
We appear all over town, and primarily we do kind of like easy listening, bossa nova, very chic, kind of things like that. I sing in Portuguese, it's just wild. So I'm doing all these fun things in my 70s. So for those of you out there who think when you turn 30, life is over, think of me. I'm going to come over there and smack you, your life is just beginning at 30. And I can honestly say at 72, I'm at my personal best. I've never felt better. My health is fantastic. I don't have any aches or pains.
Yeah, and you're loving life.
And what is it? I stay active.
Yeah, because you're very active.
I just
all
stay
everything that
active.
You're doing, you're there. He's the definition of an extrovert. He
is
everywhere that has people. Doc Phineas is going to be there. As
That's right.
He should. So you talked a lot about how you started television, which is starting to be a thing.
Yes.
Modeling was very much catalog. It was very standard for different types of body types. What you had to look like was very much physical attributes. Not that it isn't now, but you had to be. It was very difficult back then, and had different types of difficulties back then than they do now. But the most important thing, what I want to pinpoint, is that you started and you've seen so many revolutionary changes with fashion, with modeling, with stage, up until now, and you're still here working, which is very important. So you're a perfect candidate for me to ask the question: was what is something that has carried on throughout that stayed the same? Because there's very few things that have stayed the same.
Right.
Coming with technology, right? Coming with content, just things like that people talk about with how accessible things are now. What have you noticed that really much is the underlining commonality between all of the years since you started?
Well, there's some elements. Let's take fashion. So I kind of thought in the 70s and 80s when I was doing a lot of modeling, like in Paris, and I had my own collections back then. And I thought, what's going to be the future? It's not going to be a catwalk. So I honestly thought probably fashion will be suspended in air. Maybe we'll come in on a spaceship. I didn't know what it would be, but the catwalk's still there after all these years. And the way we walk on the catwalk is pretty much still the same. If I look back to I was doing a lot of choreography in Paris for people like Gautier. I worked with Alexander McQueen. I worked with Yves Saint Laurent. All of these people, Gucci. And we had a certain way of modeling back then. The only thing was we had what was called the Dior turn. So you did a little bit more turn on the runway. But now the runways are smaller. And so it's just kind of like, pray you get past somebody and you don't fall off, or fall down. But I just did a show in Paris for Wicked and Lethal Trash, so it has changed immensely since the days of I'm doing Dior, I'm doing Armani. It's very straight-laced. You have your clothes. You don't want to take away from the clothing. Right. Now it's these people in these huge,
avant-garde,
enormous things that barely move. And I actually went to a show where the models were blindfolded and fell off the end of the runway. So I was like, okay, that's very different. Mm-hmm. We never had things like that happen. So I will say it is very, very avant-garde now. It's a new world that we're in. I think Gen Z are redefining fashion with a lot of humor. And I think one of my favorite things on TikTok right now is there's this one gentleman who he has Paris Fashion Week playing on one side. He's on the other side taking things out of his kitchen and like gluing paper plates on to get the look.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I laughed, but I just thought, wow, that is insane. But I love their take on it because it's about humor, it's about fun, it's about creativity. So the catwalk's still there, but what goes on the catwalk
what goes
doesn't.
on there is completely
Oh my golly. Very
even
different.
to the point where I know they don't pose as much at the end like they used to.
No.
You know, being a model, it's very much
It's
like
just
this.
straight on, almost like
Unless
androids.
it's a celebrity type of show. I know the Victoria's Secret show used to be a very big thing, and it's not a thing, but it was very much celebrating the stars of modeling instead of just fashion. And so then models would take their time. I know a lot of times, sometimes they say, as a model, take your time, but at the same time, they're like, not really. Like, they don't want to make it about you, but the modeling, and I noticed, and you even pinpoint it, and something people need to know is that as a model, you can't let the clothes wear you, but you also can't overpower the clothes.
You can't.
So how do you, I mean, it's fine because it's about the clothes, but people like who's wearing it. Why should I also wear it? Why do I want that? I want someone to make it look like, okay, I could do that too. And that is a true model, is that's who someone that can do that is both things, which makes it extremely hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that last show that we did in West Hollywood, it was on the rooftop of the PDC, if you can imagine. Donatella flew in with Naomi, everybody came in for that. All the supermodels were there, the most famous models. And I love that show because it was so classic Versace that she went back to the vision of Gianni. Yes. And so many things were so wearable, so beautiful that, I mean, I watched Billie Eilish buy something, you know, just right there, you know, in person. She was like, I want that. You know, people were jumping in. And I said, you know, there's nothing wrong with going back old school and doing those classic forms in a world where the avant-garde is totally tolerated. I love it. I get it. They're pushing the envelope. But to have things that are very wearable that you can wear to Met Gala, you can wear to the Academy Awards, you can wear to HBO Awards, you know, like, that's very important to have very wearable stuff. And I was so proud to be there. You know, like Naomi was like 3 people ahead of me. And I was just watching how she glides. You know, no one can walk like Naomi. You know, she just has this glide. Everything she wore, I mean, people screamed and bought it immediately.
Yes, that's exactly what the point of being a great model is.
And she's so famous, yet she does not overpower the outfits. She keeps a look on her face of elegance. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. It's not too smiley. It's not too sad. She's just right in there, in yoga, what we call sattvas, that perfect point in between. And she just walked it. And the flow of it, I could see why Beyonce just said, I want that black dress, you know. Exactly. She literally takes a black dress because Naomi looks so great in it. So fashion today resembles in many ways the way it was when I first got started. If you can imagine, in 1967 was really when I first started, and here I am. It's 23, and I'm still out there on the catwalk with just the most wonderful, fabulous designers and Donatellas.
That's amazing.
Bravo, darling, you're doing a great job. I just love everything.
Absolutely.
She hand-painted the fabric for my suit that I'm wearing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Is that not
As
just
you should.
phenomenal?
It is.
Wow.
So you're not originally from Vegas, right?
I'm not. No,
You're originally
I spent so much of my life in Manhattan, in New York City, and then my parents did something fabulous. They moved to the Midwest. So I went to this very small town for a while, and I went ahead and I went to school in Switzerland my junior year, and so I had a lot of time in Europe to really kind of formulate my fashion and acting and all of that. Then I moved to San Francisco when I was 17 years old and started going to the American Conservatory Theater and spent several years like in Agatha Christie and stuff on Broadway there. And then, of course, I went back to filming in Hollywood.
Which is very common of a lot of the guests here. You know, you take on things and you learn when you acclimate to these different cities you live in. It kind of molds your talent into who you are today, right? So that's great. So, you know, you were able to work kind of in the
Yeah.
Hollywood thing while living in completely different places, it seems. That's amazing.
Yes, and also my father, you know, the whole time he was saying, well, I don't think acting is a great career. You know, you need something else in there.
Yeah.
Why don't you pick something in the sciences? I want you to get a college education. So I'm like, okay, Dad. I pick archaeology.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
gonna have to pinpoint
oh,
also.
no, what is it going to do with
PhD,
archaeology?
no?
I went ahead, I got my PhD in archaeology, and I was at Berkeley, and my first job was go to the tomb of King Tut. And if you can
That's
imagine,
amazing.
literally
Yeah.
go from being on Broadway in San Francisco, you know, so like this tap dancer, all the things I was doing, to getting my degree in archaeology, and here I'm climbing through Valley of the Kings, and I'm like, I'm Indiana Jones. You know?
Yeah, I mean, archaeology is,
Oh, it's great profession,
amazing.
and that's why I ended up on Pawn Stars. A lot of people know me
Yeah,
as Doc
as
Phineas
Pawn
on
Star- yes,
Pawn
on Pawn
Stars,
Stars.
an antiquities
Yes.
expert. I'm on Mysteries at the Museum. I'm on so many shows where I come out as an expert, and you know, I'm literally the real deal, telling people that's worth something, that's not worth something.
Yeah.
That's worth several $100,000. I just saw that one for sale at Cost Plus for $1.29. You know,
Yeah.
I don't fool me here. So-
Yeah, right. So your name, before we go, I want to put two more things. Like your name, Doc Phineas.
Yes.
Where did this name come from? Because I know that's kind of your stage name.
So, yes, so it's a tribute to my mother. My mother said that she always thought I was like David Niven in Around the World in 80 Days. So she called me Phineas Fogg. That was my nickname at home, was Phineas Fogg. So then I sort of became this big steampunk, you know, and I did my mustache about 10 years ago. And I think I sort of became the world's most famous steampunk. You know, I ended up at 50 different conventions all over the world. Every year making appearances. And they said, well, you just can't be your regular name. You have to be a cool steampunk name. So I took the name Doc Phineas since I was a doctor. You know, I have a PhD.
Right, you have a PhD.
And my mother wanted me to be Phineas. So I said, well, let's just be Doc Phineas.
Yeah, it works.
And it really stuck, you know, and like I was so surprised. And I was going to go back. Originally, I was Ken Castle. And I was going to go back to that. And my agent goes, oh, everybody knows you on TV as Doc Phineas. And we'll just call you Doc.
I love
and
that, yeah.
So I think it's kind of like being Cher. You know, when you're just Doc, everybody remembers it.
Yeah.
And it's great to
Yeah.
be a Doc. My experiences in India. I have a new book out called From India with Love. And it's all my experiences I had in the 60s and 70s going to India. And a time when the Beatles were there and Mia Farrow was there and Frank Sinatra. All these famous people from America went to India and learned meditation. So that was kind of in the 70s, you know, and I've carried that meditation, that peaceful Qigong.
Yeah. So your philosophy, you would say, would end up just being calm and being more of a peaceful, keeping a peaceful mind.
Just staying
and-
centered, staying focused,
Okay.
but having a good discipline in there too.
Yeah, so there it is. He's very disciplined. He's very calm. He's very peaceful. He has kept his energy throughout all of these years. So obviously, like, you know, yoga does a lot. I've had a lot of people on here who practice yoga, who teach yoga, and they also have that very centered quality about them and outlook on life. It's very different than many people, but I feel like that can inspire so many people who are more spiritual and who kind of seek that peacefulness within themselves and their life for their purpose. And for you, your purpose is to be a celebrity. Hey, you're honest about it, you're here, you're doing it, and so obviously that's what we like to have here on the hot seat. So everyone, Doc Phineas, there's so much to cover with him. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go on all the things he's doing, but he is working on a movie, so make sure that you are keeping in touch with him. Please tell them where your social media handles, where they can find you so that they can keep up to date with you.
So yes, please reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Doc Phineas. You'll find me there. You'll find me on Instagram, Doc Phineas. You'll find me on TikTok. I'm on Swarm. You name it, Tumblr. I'm out there. Doc Phineas is just DOCPHINEAS and DocPhineas.com.
Yes, so there it is. Keep up to date with him. See him at Go Spar for the Palms Glam Party. That happens pretty often here. Obviously, it's a place to be if you want to see people like Kim K and Pink. I mean, hey, you know where you'll see us. I mean,
Yes.
You'll see, and he's always modeled as, and there's posters everywhere as celebrity guest Doc Phineas. So I mean, he's always he's going to be there unless he's working, which is great. He's someone that you want to network with, someone that has a lot of stories to tell. He's seen a lot of things. So always approach Doc Phineas. He's very, very welcome. When you see him, he's always up for a hug and a hello, and it's just a great time. So thank you so much for coming and sitting here
Priscilla.
on the hot seat.
It was so fun. Thank you for having me, and love to all of you.
And when we come back, we're going to pinpoint another amazing star here in the film industry, so make sure to don't go anywhere.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak. If you want to buy or sell a home, call Michelle. 702-683-6576.
It's a tough market. We get it. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. But we have the solution. New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program allows your buyers to compete with all cash offers by becoming cash buyers themselves. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will purchase your buyer's new home with cash and sell it back to them for the original purchase price, plus a fee that can be added to the purchase of the home once they secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. The best part is that they don't need to sell their current home first. This is a true cash offer. Clients who use our Buyer Accepted program can secure financing using a conventional loan and even VA. Plus, there are no fees for agents and no sacrificing commissions. Buyer Accepted even offers a free 1-hour certification course that will make you the expert. You want to close more deals and help more clients? New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program is the answer.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. You know, if you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I am your host Priscilla, and our theme today is people in film. Obviously, you met Doc PHINEAS. He loves to be out and about and around and just being a celebrity that he is. But now we're switching gears to someone who is known incredibly for his voice. His voice kind of catapulted him into this amazing industry in film, and once you hear his voice, you'll probably recognize him in so many times. He's not new to social media shows, but he is absolutely amazing, and I don't, there's so much that we're going to pinpoint when we talk to him. So everyone, please welcome Geno Segers. Thank you so much for coming. It's a pleasure to meet you.
No, the pleasure's mine.
Take a seat. You're sitting in the hot seat. Amazing. I wanted to meet you for so long, so I'm so glad that I'm here with you.
No, thank you.
So amazing with your amazing voice. It's like, oh my God, like it's naturally gifted.
Yeah, I really didn't do anything to get it.
Yeah, I know, and I know everyone probably asks you about it. That's when I see you on the street. I've seen interviews with him on YouTube. People just stop him. That's the only thing they want to talk about is the voice, right? But very down to earth, very humble, very modest. So you actually never really started in film in the beginning. You were a rugby player.
I was indeed. I was indeed. Originally, I was a football player. When that sort of came to its natural end, I started. I had looked into different sports, and rugby just sort of fell in my lap. I tried out for the American Patriot Rugby League team. David New, who is the captain and the organizer of it all, really sort of appreciated me. He thought I was Polynesian, but I wasn't. And it was an interesting sort of transition. So we went to Australia to play in the Sevens tournament. I got on a team in New Zealand, and played in New Zealand for a while, and then I crashed Disney audition and sort of never looked back.
Yeah, because they heard your voice and they said, hey, how about voiceovers?
Yeah, well, no, they originally I did voiceovers for a radio station in Auckland. But he convinced me to go to try to get an agent. So I did what I thought I was supposed to do, and I went out and got a modeling agent. Didn't know that there was a difference between agents, right? So one thing sort of led to another, and I sort of crashed this audition for The Lion King and kind of booked the role as Mufasa, and never looked back.
Yeah, because that's one of the big parts of your career is mostly Disney related. Not The Lion King, but we'll get to that later, but you spent a lot of time on the stage performing in different countries, different areas as this amazing, well-known, infamous character. And so that's a lot of what people know you as. So what was the experience just kind of when you got the role? What was it like for someone who wasn't really an actor before and things like that?
Well, when Miguel, the first time I met Miguel, who was casting the show, I told him that when he said, we want to offer you the role in the ensemble, but we want you to continue auditioning for Mufasa. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, we want to offer you a contract. I was like, hey man, I need to think about this. And he was like, what do you mean you need to think about it? I was like, because I really wasn't trying to audition for the show. I was just trying to prove to someone else that they didn't want bases. It's a singing show, right?
Yeah.
And you think of singing, all the guys sing like, sing like girls, I mean, not that. I don't
musical theater is a little different.
Musical theater is very high, very tenor focused, And I'm nobody's tenor, And so I just figured they wouldn't want a bass, they wouldn't want a basso. And when he offered me the job, I was confused. I was like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not a singer, And he sent me away with the contract. And I went back to talk to my friends, and I was like, man, can you believe these people were trying to give me a contract to go to do The Lion King? And everybody I said that to told me, don't do it.
Wow.
Don't do it, man. Oh, man, forget about that, man. Stick with your business, man.
Yeah.
And so I say, well, now I got to do it. Now I got to try it at least. And I tried it the first year, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. And it gave me an opportunity to be creative, which, unbeknownst to me, I was always very creative. As a kid, even as a young adult, always trying to play music. I didn't have any formal training. I was always trying to play music. I sort of self-taught myself the piano, the guitar, the drum, saxophone. I was always into it, but I just I never thought I could make a living doing it.
Yeah, like make it a profession, but it was kind of meant to be that way.
Absolutely.
All of these things kind of happen, and there's not a lot of people that can enter a musical theater at that level and not have had any prior training, experience, work type of things, summer stock things. So it's very impressive that you just were like, okay, I'm going to do this to prove to someone that, right. And then you're like, yo, so now what am I going to do with this, though? Because now I got to say yes or no, and I'm stuck.
But now, in all fairness, people in New Zealand talk in a certain placement.
Okay.
They talk like this, way up in the nose, way up here.
But me, I speak from here.
Yeah.
And so really all I had to do is be myself, be comfortable, and just say the lines. Quiet, Simba. Sit by me.
Yeah.
It was, oh my God, that's Mufasa. It was over, and it was pretty easy. But it wasn't until I got to New York and I was auditioning for other parts where being me wasn't enough. Being Geno wasn't enough to get the job. Having to be an antagonist, having to be someone who was having to layer a character in a way that I was unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
So I had to go through my sort of, I had to sort of pay my dues.
Exactly.
Learning and taking class and taking bits that I understood, taking this from this person and that, what I could use and discarding the rest. And then I sort of landed in a show called Pair of Kings back in LA. And so that's really how I got to LA and on Disney Channel, which had no connection to the stage.
The stage, there isn't.
You know, they're like, they literally could not cross over their talent because it's just.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's two different businesses, two different organizations. And I landed back on Disney with Pair of Kings. And so been in LA ever since until I made the decision to move to Las Vegas.
I was going to say, where was it, because now, which is great, because now you have all this talent here, and it's slowly showing that you're bringing kind of the film thing here, and you're not missing out on it. A lot of people say, oh my God, you have to be there. You really don't, because here we are. We're working, we're thriving, we're creating, we're building a community here, which is absolutely amazing with what we've learned, our experiences coming from all over the place. Mm-hmm. And so you're doing all these things, but you also voice over like video games.
Yes.
Which is very big.
Yes.
Gamers are everyone. They probably would be like, oh, yeah.
I would argue that video games are bigger than movies. Because if you think about 100 million subscribers or 100 million players, I mean, that's the day the game released. So if they're paying $29.99 or $59.99 to get this game downloaded, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's bigger than
movies out of games.
I mean, they're making games out of movies and movies out of games because there's such a feverish fan base that they're going to want to go see the movie that was based on the video game. Careful, because they're very, very, very detail oriented. Yes. So when you make one mistake, you're gonna blow it.
Exactly.
You know, they don't play a lot. They don't play around with that.
Yeah, and like because video game culture, like they're very into the story,
detail,
right? Sometimes a lot of them come from books, right? And then it ends up being something. The Witcher, prime example, is something that I can see you doing. You know, they're like, oh my God, we don't want it to be at the video game. I don't like that and this, but then there's the fan base that you're trying to, you know, get the approval of and things like that. So it's a very different culture. So you've done stage. You do television, film, and you also do voiceover, but then also crossing that not just with animation, but with video games. Is there something that you feel is common that you need to be able to have to do all of these different things? If there's someone that wants to do all.
You know, all you got to do is have an intense desire, determination, and patience. No one can take away from you your preparation, right? I mean, as long as you go in and you're prepared. Okay, you can be too tall. Okay, you can be, not right in the character. Your complexion may be too light or too dark, or whatever that case may be. They can sort of weed you out that way, but they can never take away your preparation. So as long as you're prepared, you are giving yourself the absolute best opportunity to book the job and to get the role and to set yourself up for an amazing journey.
Yeah. So are you currently working on anything right now?
Currently, I am I'm slated for a couple of video games on Netflix. I'm not video games, but video animations on Netflix. I can't talk about them right now because they're such
you gotta keep everything
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, they want to make a big deal out of announcing who's being cast in this season, this particular season. So I can't really mention it. There's also a movie that's coming up on Netflix that I can't really talk about.
You can't really talk about, but you can say that, hey, I'm working.
Yeah, I am working.
And you live here and you're thriving and you're still in it.
But I can say that on November the 10th, that a nativity movie musical that's going to be coming out, and it's called Road to Bethlehem. And I play the role of Balthazar, one of the wise kings. So I'm really excited about that. It stars Antonio Banderas, Milo Manheim, and an amazing cast of us. We're really excited. Adam Anders is directing his world debut. I got a chance to work with him on Perfect Harmony. He was the music. Him and his brother are the music sound department behind Glee. So the music is all written by Adam and his family, and it's pretty amazing. We're all very excited. I cannot wait for this to come out. Yes, I also got to work with Rizwan Munji and Olid Jalili, who are also the other two kings. They play Gaspar and Malchior.
That's amazing.
So we're really excited about that coming out, and hopefully the premiere will be hit, home run out of the park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to get that first,
the
big box office sale and get you all the way up there. I mean, that's
excited.
the biggest thing for any actor, big or small, to know that you're part of something so amazing and so revolutionary. Bringing in new talent, showing new talents, showing what you have and what you can do apart from just being Mufasa, being in Disney, Pair of King, right? Like doing animation, you have all these different things, versatility. I think that's very great. And it's great because you are someone that you can say, hey, I never actually thought that I would be here, but I made it. So, there's a lot of people who had to work starting from they're young. And there's some people that were just like, we'll see. But the great thing about you, what I want to show to the audience is the fact that you continue to stay humble throughout the whole thing. And I can tell because you didn't lead with a mindset where you're like, no, I have to be here. You just kind of went in there and you're like, I know I like creativity. I know this is me, this is what I have to offer. And you never tried to be someone else.
No.
You just went with it and then all the good graces came onto you.
Yes. I have a Southern mother who would walk to Las Vegas and put her sore foot up my behind if I ever got what she would call the big head.
Yes.
So I appreciate my upbringing. I appreciate all of the wonderful people that have come into my life and been so grounding. I've had coaches that have come into my life that have helped me understand that life's not about the things that you bear. Life is about how you bear it. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. And how you handle what happens to you. So I give a lot of credit to my mother and my dad. My dad was very man of few words, but when he did speak, it was resounding.
You heard him.
He meant what he said. He meant what he said, and I'm really grateful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have some really good friends in my life that I that are part of my life to this day. Lifelong friendships: Anthony Chavis, Vance Locklear, Scotty Miller, my brother, my lovely wife.
It really shows because you bring that energy here and it is just completely different. And I love meeting different guests. Every single person that sits here has something different and they're contributing in a different way it works for them. And that's what something I want to show the audience in the entertainment business. There's a stigma that you got to be a specific type. That to carry this persona to be well liked, but people don't realize that sometimes if you just know, like, this is me, this is what I bring to the table, they're gonna like it or not, but I'm not changing. This is me, and I love that. That's what I love. People like you that come here and you share that and you prove to them with your story. You don't have to say much about it. You can just show it within. You're like, I mean, hey, I love it, right? And the fact that you love what you do, because you really do, because you're doing it and you're going job by job, day by day, and you're just contributing what you can and showing the love for others, which is I love. Because then you got to come here, now I'm like, oh my God, he's coming here, like, he's done so many big things, and he's sitting here in the hot seat next to me. I'm like, oh my God, what do I even ask? So like, I'm sure people ask me the same questions all the time, but what you've done is amazing, and you prove that anyone can do anything that they set their mind to.
Absolutely. And I'm like I said again, I'm blessed, and to be quite honest with you, Priscilla, I'm just an amazing job. That's really what it is to me. I pinch myself every morning when I get up, and I'm excited to go and do whatever I can to facilitate a story. And it's just it's been a wonderful journey, and I'm excited to see what happens next year, this
not
year,
over.
the rest of the
This
year.
journey's gonna continue
Yeah.
forever, my
I'm
friend,
really just
yeah.
excited to see what's next.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you live here in this city. See, someone doesn't have to live in LA to
No.
be doing everything that he's doing.
And nowadays, it's so the self-tape is so prevalent. I mean, it's just every single audition since COVID has been a self-tape. Now, it was working its way into the industry, but self-tapes have become just a way of life. I haven't always been a fan of the self-tape.
Same.
I would much rather go into the room
Right.
and let them experience me,
You meet them
three-dimensionally.
right,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So there's a reader there. You don't got to have someone
Yes,
help you.
yes.
You got to film it. You got to get the lighting.
I'm
It's a
right
lot of
there.
work.
I'm right there. I got a
It's a
whole
lot of work.
room
It's a lot of work.
at my house dedicated to self-tapes, but when I go into the room, I get to talk to them,
Right.
ask them questions,
Feel energy.
things that they
Yeah.
didn't think about, play little tricks, tricks on them. They don't know that I'm coming in as the character. They don't know, what I mean? I might even, there's all kinds of little things you do. Just sort of like take control of the room.
Exactly.
Psychologically.
Exactly.
I don't know. I kind of miss going into the room.
Same. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, traveling, you got to go see, but then at the same time, there's pros and cons.
Oh,
of
yeah.
each.
Oh, yeah.
Substitutes are a lot of work. I mean, I also come from a theater background, so I'm used to preparing in person, like knowing how to be present,
Right.
doing this, perceiving yourself in a type of way.
Right.
Camera, it can come across any type of way. If you're having a bad day, the camera will see it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, you
And
can
they
too much
can't-
makeup. What color am I wearing, right?
Right. They can't measure your presence.
Yeah.
Because you're just on the frame like everybody else.
They're watching one after another,
Right.
hundreds of videos a day.
And the
yeah.
number of guys that say that they're 6'1" when they're actually 5'11"
Yeah.
is, I mean, and then like, you can't tell because they're in this frame.
Right.
So like, but if I walk in and then I tell them, hey man, I'm 6'3", and they say, man, you're not 6'3", you're like 6'4". I'm like, no man, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm closer to 6. I'm probably closer to 6'4", but I always say 6'3".
Yeah.
Because it just works better for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
they
see
can
you.
feel the presence,
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't know what you weigh when you walk. I mean, when you're on the camera, they think, oh, he looks a little chubby. But then I walk in, it's like,
Right,
oh,
it's
he's not chubby
different.
at all,
Like,
right?
exactly. Oh,
Everything,
I can't.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like, the
Yeah,
camera
man.
changes a lot of things, sometimes not for the better. Like,
Yes,
oh, God.
yes,
Like, no,
yes.
I promise. I'm right about my measurements. It's just the lens today is not working in my favor. It's widening the screen.
Right.
But I'm going to close it with the question that I did ask Doc, and you were here hearing. What is your philosophy in life, if you do have one?
Wow, my philosophy really is all about just taking advantage of every opportunity. I walk around the corner. Some people will walk around the corner, see an opportunity. You can hear those people all the time. They say things like, this place is. I'm moving to. Another person will walk around that same corner, see that opportunity, pick it up and drop it. You hear their mouths all the time as well. They say things like, "Oh, she doesn't like me. Oh, he had it in. First got it. He tattletaled on me. Stop touching me." Always blaming someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Another person will walk around that same corner, see that same opportunity, pick it up, run with it. But you never hear anything about what they have to say.
Exactly.
They're too busy running with that opportunity. It's the people that dropped it and the people that walked past it. It's making all the noise about the person picked up and ran with it. They're saying, oh, he thinks he's better than us. Oh, he thinks he's this. He thinks he's all of that. So really,
I just work, right?
I just picked up the opportunity and ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really my philosophy. I want to pick up every opportunity that comes along. And whether it's to help people, whether it's to help myself, whether it's to help.
And you're here. That's what
Here we
I'm
are.
here. This is how we got to connect, and I
There you
hope that
go.
we don't not ever connect again in the
Oh.
future. I think now we've established a bond and loathe for self-tapes. I'm just kidding. For the lens widening. But yeah, we have that. Geno, it's been absolutely amazing. Great conversation, great energy, humble, modest. Love the art enough that you walk in and you say, hey, I understand I have to learn, but I understand I'm going to come with what I have to give. And I love that energy. I love that about you because I feel the same way. We're on that same wavelength with that, and you're just going where life takes you.
Likewise.
So I love that. I cannot wait to see everything that you're doing and keep in contact to make sure that we're going to talk about it and have you on again in the future. So we can talk about things you couldn't talk about here.
Absolutely.
We can talk about it in the future.
Absolutely.
Yes,
please. Let's
manifest it. It's coming out.
Absolutely.
You never know sometimes.
Definitely.
Production,
No. It's definitely coming out.
That's great. We talked about the one that is coming out where you play one of the wise kings. So that's everything App posted. We can talk about the box office. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be, we're manifesting it. It's gonna be a success.
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
So everyone, Geno Segers, aka King of all Mufasas, King of everything, King of the Pair of Kings. He is the king and the Pair of Kings. But all of the above. So it's amazing. I'm sure you have social media, right? Where everyone can contact you in order with if they have an inquiry, an audition. I'm sure they can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
Which
it is Geno Segers on all platforms. GENOSEGERS.
Same. You just do the first and last name. That's easy to find. You're the one and only at that point. So amazing. Thank you so much for being here on the hot seat. Amazing person to contribute to film in the industry. Love the energy. This is someone that you should aspire to be like everybody. So when we come back, we have one more person in film to talk about, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing conversation. So make sure do not go anywhere.
Have you ever dreamed of sharing your views and knowledge with the world? It should be easy, right? Just turn on your phone, talk into the camera, upload to your social media, then sit back and wait to go viral. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. Not only that you need a great message, you also need a video production as well as a quality sound and lighting. If that's not enough, you still need to make sure that video's description, title, and thumbnails are optimized by SEO and search algorithms. What a hassle! Don't worry, Social Media Shows is here to help. With our years of production online experience and professional studio, we can remove all the technical roadblocks out of your way so that you can focus on the message you want to share with the whole world. We have production plans that fit any budget. Visit Social Media Shows today at socialmediashows.com and schedule your free pilot audition today.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause, because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. Thank you guys for all my viewers who are still here watching. We do have one more guest today, and she's no less amazing than the two other guests prior. Another person who contributes to film in her own amazing way. So she's not just known as one thing. She's a writer, she's a director, she does all of these things. She's a creator. She's just an artistic in so many different ways, and I can't wait to have her here. I've been hoping that I would get to meet her, and I finally get to do today. So everyone, please welcome the amazing Deborah Richards. Thank you so much. I know I'm so much shorter than you. I'm so jealous. But please take a seat. Oh my God. So it's an honor to have you sitting here in the hot seat.
Thank you so much.
It's not your first time here, but it's your first time here on the hot seat. So it's amazing. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Now you guys know, like, she has done so many different things, from Move Me No Mountain to Shaken and Stirred. You know, I want to dig into a lot. Yeah, honey, I was my homework. I said, like, I have a theater background, like, we do the homework, honey. But no, but the good thing is about you is that you love to genre skip. Like, you don't like to stay in one thing, which not a lot of people do.
Right.
They like stay in their niche.
Yeah.
And that's not kind of what
That's not
you
me.
do. That's
no,
not you.
I think I've done like well, I'm in development of my third feature film, my second in post, and my first one's out on Tubi, and we can talk about that.
Indie, right?
Yeah, and I love all the cinema.
Right. You want to experience everything you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people are just like, no, it's only horror. No, it's only documentary, which is fine. You know, people are great and respect what they do, but you very rarely though see someone that's like, hey, I'm open for anything, because you know that you learn with everything that you do, and it just makes you amazing. So you not only have this wide history of traveling so many different places, but you have also won Emmys for a lot of your past work.
Well, it was one thing in particular. In 2015, I won 4 Emmys for a short I did in film school.
Amazing.
And I won,
in film school too, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I won Best Director, Best Short, Best Editing, and Best Screenplay.
Wow.
So that was great.
Hitting all the marks.
All the marks.
Yeah, production, that's amazing. Obviously, you're doing everything you want to do, because that's what you want to do, and you're like, yes. Right? Yeah. And so I heard you say this quote, and which I love, and it's basically that sometimes you write a story 3 times, you tell a story 3 times, something along those lines, you know, when you're writing, when you're directing, and then you also when you're editing.
I think it'd be even more than that. I think it's like when you're writing, when you're shooting it, when you...
watching it all in one time, which I feel like is something that you can draw from, inspiration from. Is that correct?
Yes. While we were getting people amped and excited about the movie, I was kind of doing like interviews like this and stuff, and sport, and this is my 3rd or 4th collaboration with my work husband, Patrick Wirtz, Emmy-nominated director in his own right.
Right.
And we're in post-production now of that, and the trailer comes out next week.
That's amazing. I've seen the poster. It already looks so well done.
Cool.
And documentaries are hard and respectful in their own right to gather all this information, these viewpoints, and telling a story based on people's real life, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to perceive that on camera and make sure that you do them justice when you do post.
Well, it's also it's so much more of a marathon when you're making a documentary, because like with a narrative feature. It's like a sprint. You shoot for 21 days or 14 days or whatever it is. But this we were shooting for a year. So it required.
But I'm sure you learn a lot. I feel like it's so enlightening
I'm always
to meet
learning.
people. Yeah, that's so fantastic, and I'm sure you can take that when creating other art in the future. So Move Me No Mountain, this is something very passionate. I've been seeing this. We've had it a lot in between my show and things like that, and I looked into it a lot, and it's really based on the character experience tragedy, and then they move to Vegas, entering a completely different life, and then the trials and tribulations of that. Where did you kind of get the storyline, and where did it inspired from?
It's funny because that was my first feature film, even though I directed about 100 commercials before that. So it's really ambitious, but because at the core of the story it deals with homelessness in modern urban America, we wanted to treat that subject with dignity and authenticity. So we actually teamed up with Las Vegas Rescue Mission and Shine a Light Foundation to live in Vegas and not be cognizant of the dichotomy between the excessive wealth and the excessive poverty. There's like, some people in Vegas don't even know that there's 800 miles of tunnels in the city, of storm drain tunnels. And so when you're walking on the strip in front of those multi-billion-dollar casinos, there's literally people 6 feet below you living. And that blows my mind. It just blows my mind. So so I wanted to make a movie that wasn't just two people in a room. And I wanted to do something that we could be proud of, that strives to be cinema as opposed to just another movie. And that has a social conscience and maybe educates people about the realities of being unsheltered and, you know, modern urban America. And I think also a big misconception about that community is that they're all drunks or addicts, right? And they all kind of get tarnished with that brush. And the truth of the matter is that people become homeless for so many different reasons. Like there's people in California that lose their home overnight in a forest fire, in a wildfire. And next thing they're sleeping on a friend's couch, and then they're in their car, and then they lose their job because they're sleeping in a car, and then they're on the street, and then they're... So there's so many different avenues to get to those low places. And I'm really proud of the movie and the scrappy little team that we had that brought all these stories to life and shined a light on the realities.
Yeah, I love that, because what I love about you is that you take film seriously in a way where you're not just trying to create a movie, but what's the purpose? What am I saying? How am I moving? Pinpoint on that. How am I moving the audience to kind of feel something with film? What am I saying that's contributing to the world of entertainment when everyone's making movies day in, day out, everyone's doing something, but what sets me apart, right?
Well, I think film, cinema in general, okay, it's like a giant mirror that's held up, and it's a mirror showing us ourselves of what humanity is and what it's like and how we see ourselves as we move through time. And so I think we have a responsibility as filmmakers to choose what we want to show really carefully, and you know, anyone can grab a camera and go out and shoot.
I want to know who they are, but like when you ask someone when they do their art, why do you want to be a director? Why do you want to be an actor? Why do you want to do this third? How they answer that question can kind of describe their purpose and their motive into what they're doing. So if I were to ask you, like, why you want to be a director?
So I think, okay, so I'm an artist, first and foremost, and I'm like a supernova of artistic ability. I don't know why, I can't help it. I can make art out of anything. It's like John Lennon.
You don't need a why, right? It's just you.
Well, John Lennon once said, you know, give me a tune of that, meaning like, you give me a musical instrument, even if I can't play it, I'll come up with something cool. You give me a piece of Play-Doh, I'll sculpt something interesting. I'm just creative, right? And I feel that filmmaking is, well, first of all, it's the most collaborative art form, and collaboration. I wouldn't want to do this in a vacuum. Where would be the joy in that, right? There's a song in a line by The Cure. I think it was 1982, "Love Cats" by The Cure. There's a line in there that goes, "Hand in hand is the only way to land," and I love that. Like a sunset shared is more meaningful to me. So I love the collaborative aspect of filmmaking. And then the real key ingredient is that it's just impossible. It's impossible to make an amazing movie. There are so many things that have to happen. There's so much that has to happen that it's technically on paper. Someone once said making a great movie is the equivalent of getting a bow and arrow and trying to hit a target from 10 miles in the wind and rain. It's just that difficult, and that really appeals to me. Like, like I often tell people, if you said to me, "Hey, I want to go to the moon," I can help you. I just need time and money. And then I can make it work. I can figure it out. If you give me enough time and enough money, I'll get you there. So, so I don't feel like anything is out of reach. And when someone says film is impossible, or no, or are you crazy, then I just think, wow, this sounds like something I want to do and figure out and solve it. And so it just really appeals to my problem-solving nature.
I love that.
And my, you know the word I hate the most in the English language? No. Because anytime anyone ever says pure lack of imagination. So, and quite honestly, it kind of revolts me. I'm like, you didn't think, you didn't imagine, go away, come back. No, it's not the answer. It's not the answer.
It should be, okay, how?
Yeah,
How do you do this?
How? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah.
And like I said, nothing's impossible, even getting to the moon. If we have enough time and money, we can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the collaborative aspect. I'm a creative supernova. And just the impossible.
Yeah, the challenge. You realize you need hard work, you need dedication, you need passion.
Yeah.
And so having that and knowing as a person doing it that you can have something that you achieved going through all those things and you made that happen, right? Something to be very proud of. So
Well,
you
it
should be
makes me
very proud
laugh.
of yourself.
Thank you. It makes me laugh when people say, you know, if you want something really bad, just manifest it and it'll happen. It's like, no, you have to manifest it, but then you got to do
And then you have to do the work.
You
It goes hand in hand. You can believe that what you're doing is going to end up with that if you're on a prize, but you still have to, you know, day by day.
1,000%.
Exactly.
1,000%. I feel like I'm at the starting line of my career, and I'm in development of my third feature film with 100 TV commercials and 4 Emmys, and Nevada Woman Filmmaker of the Year last year, and all these things, right? In 15 years, all these things, I feel like I'm just at the start. So it's been 15 years to get to the start.
Yeah, well, that's great. And one thing I know I tell people, and I think you would agree with me, is that this job is amazing because you'll never be bored. Every single gig is something new.
Yeah, you know what's funny is about 15 years ago, I made a list of the 10 most exciting jobs in the world, or a Googled list, and on there was like pilot. And I was like, well, you're flying back and forth. It's the same thing all the time. I mean, it's in different places, but it's the same thing every day. And then I was like, what's next? And it was like CEO. And it's like, well, you know, it seems like that's, I don't know. But then I got to filmmaker or film director specifically. And I was like, you know, a film goes through so many different cycles or stages of its life. You've got development when you're writing it, and that could be, you know, 6 weeks, 10 years, whatever. Then you've got pre-production when you're putting it all together. Then you've got the actual shooting of it, which is only like, you know, like a couple weeks. And then you've got post-production, which goes on forever. And then you got the marketing of it. So it's constantly changing. And I love the development phase because, like, recently I was involved writing a short about lighthouses, and I had to learn about lighthouses. And I was like, how does a lighthouse work? How does it turn? Like, how is it built? What's the history of it? So I feel I'm constantly having to learn, which I love. And you're right, it's completely varied all the time. And so that's really exciting. Like today's a typical day, which is, there's no such thing as a typical day, but today, before this interview, we had lunch with a new executive producer, and then before that, we had to do some headshots for Rotten Tomatoes. And then before that, really early this morning, I was doing some editing. So it's constantly.
And you gotta switch gears and be very open to those things and learning. And now you're sitting here with me.
Yeah.
And we met, and you're just like, oh, this is exciting. This is new.
The funny thing about switching gears is like, you know, in the past, I always really used to enjoy monotasking. It was like, if today's an edit day, I'm just going to edit. If today's a filming day, I'm just going to. But now, with us getting more and more projects and busier, I don't have that luxury anymore to get to
But it's great when you do because you're like, dang, I'm pretty good.
I sleep well.
Which is more than I can say, which is amazing. Get sleep and then be able to be in film and entertainment is, you're amazing. You know, you're the planner, obviously. Like, you are like this. It's great. But one more question before we do go, and I love conversing with you. I can converse all day with you. You're so interesting. Is what would your philosophy in life be?
Well, I'm a filmmaker, not a philosopher, so I don't have an overall arching philosophy. But I think, you know, it's nice to be important, but it's just more important to be nice. I think, you know, kindness is the key. Love is the answer. Kindness is key. And all the rest is just... Here you go. I'll give you this. Don't focus on the destination. There is no destination. The journey is the destination.
Yeah,
So
love that.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, I love asking a question to all the guests because it sums up who they are as people and whatever philosophy that they live. A lot of people don't think they have one until they're asked that question and they're like, oh my God. And every time they answer that, it really, after your whole interview and people have met you, are like, oh my God, that's her. And it's authentic to that person, and how they answer that question and how they live their life really can inspire people in different ways, and that's absolutely amazing. I know you've inspired me just sitting here, and to me, a person in this industry that can think kind of the crazy way I think too. And she's like, oh my God, you get it, right? Like, how can you explain this to someone that's not in it, right? The things we do, how we work to go out of our way to make an amazing thing that people, you know, they see as entertainment. For us, this is a passion. It's art. It's life. It's everything that we strive to be and contribute.
And I think those people who pursue it as a passion and as an art will be more successful than people that pursue it for clout.
That part, yes. I love that. And you can tell the difference. For sure.
100%.
And I love that. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I would love to have you on again when you're having all these feature films out. And hopefully one day we'll connect and we'll work together in a different space.
That'd be amazing. Go watch Makoola Mountain on TV. And come join us at the Michaud Film Festival in LA next month.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And where can people find you on social media before we go? If they ever want to get in contact?
Just Google me, Deborah Richards, and
everything will pop up.
Everything will be there.
She does. I get it. It's true. That's true. Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor and pleasure. Thank you. Everyone, Deborah Richards, queen of all film and all things. So please keep an eye out for her. Make sure you guys don't go anywhere because I'll say our goodbyes right after this break.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Geno, what is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join a program?
Get back, dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a bowl and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Have you ever dreamed of sharing your views and knowledge with the world? It should be easy, right? Just turn on your phone, talk into the camera, upload to your social media, then sit back and wait to go viral. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. Not only that you need a great message, you also need a video production as well as a quality sound and lighting. If that's not enough, you still need to make sure that video's description, title, and thumbnails are optimized by SEO and search algorithms. What a hassle! Don't worry, Social Media Shows is here to help. With our years of production online experience and professional studio, we can remove all the technical roadblocks out of your way so that you can focus on the message you want to share with the whole world. We have production plans that fit any budget. Visit social media shows today at socialmediashows.com and schedule your free pilot audition today.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Here at the Hot Seat, we go live on social media shows, live in real time, so everything that you are seeing is happening. It's not pre-planned. Like I said, some of these guests I have not met before, and it's always amazing just sitting here being inspired, having a great conversation, showcasing their journey, their story in the most authentic and genuine form that I can. We always are open for new people who want to be on the show to submit all of your information to admin@socialmediashows.com. That will go straight to production, and then you can be set on the roster, and you might one day be sitting here on the hot seat sharing everything that you're doing. And it does not have to be in the arts, guys. I've had business people here, I've had politicians, I had small business owners, entrepreneurs, up and coming singers, dancers, all of these things who came to Vegas, or maybe not from here, but they have a dream, they have a goal, and they have something to contribute to society, and especially to this amazing city, which is becoming more and more prominent in the country every single day. And I am here for it, and I love being a part of it. So it's absolutely amazing. The theme today was film, so all the amazing people with film, you guys have realized that you don't have to be a certain someone to be in film. You don't have to be the stigma, the stereotype. If you have a dream and you want to go for it, you can be like any of the people that I have sitting here. Just like my shirt, please be genuine. That's the biggest thing. Every one of my guests have been super different in their own right and respect, and they were amazing and succeeded just being who they are and doing what they love day by day by day. And even though, you guys know me, I've been doing this for so long, but at the same time, I learn every single day. I meet new people every day, and I continue to share my passion with what I do with them as well. So I love, love, love that you guys are showing your support for this show and for this channel. So please continue to like it and support us. If you guys are interested in sponsoring, you can send your information to that same email that I had mentioned before, admin@socialmediashows.com, and we are completely open to having any sponsor and just conversing. We're open to meet you. We'd love to meet you and share who you are and collaborate on this amazing channel. So everyone, once again, I am your host, Priscilla Moy. We go live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. And next week, I'm going to come to you again with amazing guests. So I can't wait to see you there. See you then.